And we are back. So, last we left off, the crew of the expedition has just completed their endeavors for the next leg of their burgeoning adventure, and I am excited to get into it. A little more housekeeping before we roll out. Let's go ahead and all you guys can roll for your coin for the next leg of the adventure. Since none of you saved any, you're just going to be rolling them fresh.
How we
Um,
how we
None of
how
you
we
are
make the money?
copper, I don't think.
Oh, poor,
No.
those are poor people.
So silvers, I believe it is a D4 per silver,
So
or is it
that's like my
D6?
career level is
Hold
silver
on,
three,
please.
so
It might be a
three
D6.
D4s.
I gotta look.
Are you sure that's a D4? I don't. I thought we were rolling either a D8 or a D10 for the
I think it
silver.
might be, well, it might be a D6. Let's look. I'm looking. Gosh, it
Because I
rolls.
know Nog rolled like 30 silver when we first started our characters.
Yeah. Well, he gets a lot of shit.
Mhm.
Earning money, 51. So many pages. All right. Okay. Okay, no, a silver is 1d10 per level in your status. A gold, if you're gold, you just get one gold piece for each status. If you are gold. None of you are brass anymore, are you?
Mm.
No. Yeah, all of you are silver at least.
I
So
All
only
right.
get
D10.
2 gold pieces?
Yeah, if you're gold, you get
You're
gold
gold
pieces.
too?
I'm gold too, baby. Not
Yep.
to, rub it in Luther's face.
So what was the dice roll?
A D10 per
D10
level in
times
silver.
per level of the silver.
So what's
Okay.
the conversion again?
We're just making it simple. We're just doing 10, 10, 10, just to
So
make it easy.
11. I got 11 silver now.
So 10 brass is worth one silver. 10 silver is worth one gold, just to make it simple.
So I could technically earn a lot more than Henry.
I mean, if we're being technical, yes. Why you gotta be like that?
I don't get to roll.
No, you don't get to roll. You just get it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll it. Did Lucian already roll?
Yeah, you guys go ahead and roll your money.
Okay.
If you want to know what the freaking breakdown is insane, just so you know. Let me find it for you.
All right. I just made 35 gold. So I mean 35 silver.
So
Okay.
3.5 gold.
Gold, fuck.
Yeah. I made a deal with another skate.
Jesus.
35 silver there. But isn't it like 12 brass to one
It's like
silver, and
it's
then
annoying.
like 7.5 silver to
Yeah.
like one piece of eighth of gold? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if I could find it, it is super annoying, and that's why I was just trying to make it simple because it was too much to keep track of. Moon passes, money. I can't find it right now. Let's just continue. Everybody rolled their cash. Everybody's good.
A lot richer than Henry.
I don't know about a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm richer than Henry too.
It's gonna be fine, Henry. Don't worry about that.
Henry doesn't have to work for his money. It's just
He
given
doesn't
to
have to
him.
work. He's just given to him.
That's
It's
true.
paid up.
You just go and take it. Takes it.
Money, please.
Yeah. All of you have garnered some coin for your next leg of the
Why?
adventure.
Fetch me this.
That's true. Indeed, it is.
Do it now.
Currently, major events that have taken place. Do you guys have any questions about anything that may have taken place since we last spoke?
This halfling chef,
Yes, Rory.
Rory?
Roy or Rory?
Rory.
His name is Rory the
Rory?
Rumster. Rory the
Rumster.
Rumster.
Rory the
Rumster.
Rumster.
The Rumster.
He must be good at making some pork rump.
He specifically
He's good at making everything.
He's more of a brewer.
Oh, okay.
He makes rum. Literally, that's what he gave Nog was rum.
The Rumster. Yeah.
The Rumster. That's why he's called the Rumster.
But he's with us now.
he is with Nog. He kind of hangs out with Nog, follows him around. He may or may not ride on Nog's shoulder occasionally. He sometimes perhaps even like sticks one of his tubes in Nog's mouth, kind of like those guys with the camel backpacks, and just gives him a good fill up as they're walking around.
Or like, I don't know if you guys ever been to Tijuana, but that's how they do it there.
Yeah.
Go to the club and just pour it in your mouth.
Yeah, there you go. So there we go.
So what is this called amongst Nog's trappings? This is like a...
when he levels up next, he's getting it early because I thought he was going to level up. He gets a personal halfling cook, and so this is his personal halfling cook.
All right.
Nice.
Yes, Rory is with you. Any questions about any state of the expedition or Lashik or anything like that? Anybody? No questions. No one cares. Let's see.
Well, I mean,
we have golems now. We're off. That's a pretty good start.
We do have each of the magisters has a golem, and then Luther happens to have one as well.
So we got these mechs with us.
He's also got that staff.
the prototype golem.
Now, you remember there's only 3 magisters, plus
There's only
Luther.
a few.
So you have four golems. I will say, as Luther can say, the golems are not like siege monsters.
No.
They're not. I mean, it is a boon. They're scary looking, but they're not. It's not anything to be like, oh yeah, we got a fucking construct. It's gonna whoop your ass. No, probably not.
No, it's gonna be really hard pressed to hit you. Yeah.
Now it does get the benefits fighting creatures smaller than it, Luther.
Yeah.
So
It's got
if
a
it's
weapon
in
skill 25.
well, in melee they get a plus 20 to hit a creature smaller than it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why that's how the monster stat blocks are set up. Because you're looking at this, you're like, why is this rat ogre only hit on 30? And it's because it's actually a 50 if it's fighting a creature smaller than it. So yeah.
I see. Yeah.
I was picturing Luther climbing inside of it, strapping in.
Exactly.
I would be definitely going to climb inside of the burning inferno inside the armor.
I'm resistant to fire.
Right there.
It doesn't matter if you're resistant. You're not immune.
I am fire, bro.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's not. I will say, as far as like Lashik is concerned, I would have at some point during my month of time like to have gone down and burned that smoke shack that the Sultan gave me permission to burn down.
He did.
Specifically, and he told me I could.
He did.
And I would have liked to burn it.
I would have gone with him.
I don't know.
Do you want to make sure that all the people are still inside when you burn it down?
At least the proprietor.
Okay.
That fucker
That's fair.
who
That's fair.
Who was
They are accessories to Skaven.
He was he was he was in league with Skaven for sure.
Yeah.
So
as he's begging, please don't. I'm just gonna say like, perhaps your rat masters can save you, and I'm going to burn him, his establishment and his life before him.
Do you have your construct like throw him into the building before you light it on fire
exactly,
or something?
like push him into the fire,
Disturbing to say the least.
Yes.
Vengeance. Man, I wonder if we should give you a point of corruption for that.
I don't think so. I think this is perfectly acceptable in the Empire.
Perfectly acceptable. It's not a dark action.
I'd be standing right next to Luther. I'd put my hand on his shoulder and give him a nice squeeze.
You did a good thing.
If I said that, you would give me a corruption point.
Sure.
So yeah.
No, that's bullshit.
No, Mr. Purity over here.
Sigmar isn't about forgiveness. Sigmar isn't about
It's about wrath. There's a lot of wrath.
Forgive him. It's about wrath. So yeah, that feels good.
Okay. I'm glad.
Yes. Anything else? Let's see. How's? No, you already told us that. How's did we ever find out the situation for let's see the apprentice's name.
Oliver.
Oliver. We never got an update on Oliver.
So
That
Oliver,
piece of shit.
Oliver does not come back to Mr. Serena. He instead appears to be apprenticing under Magister Weiss now.
That
Kill him!
bastard. That's true.
Bastard!
Did my mistress take on any more apprentices? Because
She has not.
technically she has none.
She doesn't have any.
Oh.
And she has been like in a strange state, Luther. She doesn't talk very much, she doesn't eat very much. She's constantly in her quarters doing God knows what. Anytime you come to check on her, she kind of just waves you off as if she's too busy to have time for you.
She ever come and try to collect the book from me? Book of the Dead?
She would try to get that from you. Would you relinquish it, Luther?
I don't know. And this book looks evil, right? Like it's like Necronomicon.
Yes, it looks like it
made
is,
of human flesh and stuff.
It might be heretical.
Possibly bound in human skin. It is brimming with dark magic for sure.
What did they do to her?
They tortured her. We know for sure. That's about it. We know. All we know.
That book belongs in a museum.
It does belong in a museum. Damn it. If I could destroy it, I would, but I can't. I'm sure
it can't be burned. Yeah, I'm assuming if you try at some point, Luther, and it doesn't work. Whatever dark magic is held within it, it has to be destroyed in a very specific fashion. And you do not have the knowledge to do so.
Yeah. I don't really want to keep it on my person either, though.
She does request it.
Yeah. I guess I'd probably give it to her. Knowing Luther, that's mostly what she says.
She takes it from you. Doesn't thank you. Just leaves with it.
Mistress, never mind.
Has Luther's success in conjuring the golem, is that raised to standing in her eyes at all?
It's unclear. She doesn't. She hasn't. She hasn't like showing him favor or anything of that. I mean, technically, he's her only apprentice now because one's dead and the other one has jumped ship.
Does Oliver look upon me jealously when I conjure this golem?
As he sees you, many of the other individuals within, like the other acolytes, or not actually acolytes, but the other apprentices with the magisters do look quite jealous of your current standing, as it appears you are flourishing much more than they are. And I'm sure you lord it over them.
I do. I mean, I don't say anything overt, but it would be kind of like an arrogance thing, like...
I mean, he's attractive. I'm better than you. Look at me conjure this thing. I could crush you with it if I wanted to.
He's all like, oh, you haven't learned that yet. Oh, okay.
Exactly. Oh, surely, this felt... Oh, you don't.
Oh, you don't. You don't.
Someday you'll get more skilled.
Perhaps one day.
Perhaps one day, indeed, Luther.
I'm only 17,
Is Luther a high enough standing where he can, like, teach people?
I don't have an apprentice.
Technically, he is not eligible to have apprentices yet. He's considered a full wizard, though. He's considered a full wizard standing. He's just not he just isn't to that teaching level yet.
I'm on the council, but I'm not.
Not quite. However,
I think we, in our initial bid to find the shroud, we promised intelligence to the vampire lady.
You did, and promised some intelligence in reciprocation. And
is there a way to
I'm assuming most of it has been taken care of in the back end. Essentially, unless do you want to do it yourself, Lucian? Do you want to be the informant?
I assumed that one or multiple of us had gone because that was the
Wolfram hat.
Was that the coiled cobra? What was that?
It was the coiled
right.
cobra. It is it is indeed the coiled cobra.
That was also.
Lucian? That
was also
establishment?
where Helga applies her trade. Is that
Helga is?
Oh my!
I was assuming I would.
Oh, he knows all the names.
Proud, you know?
Shit.
I should always say my goodbyes, you know.
Of course.
While also, you know, giving minimally informative,
yes. Giving and receiving,
minimally informative, but yet effective intelligence to the scary vampire lady.
Yeah, indeed. You know what? Why don't we make a roll out of this since we since we're kind of
you just get mobbed every time.
We get mobbed.
That's true. Yeah, you can't bring in Luther, and you definitely can't bring in young Henry. Henry's like, oof. Let's see here. This would be. Let's try a. What's this called? There is an actual. See it. I guess just make a gossip roll.
Not my best skill. Let's see.
Let's see how well you can control the amount of information you let slip. 48.
And if I use a fortune point, I can make that a success.
Okay. Are you doing so?
I am doing so.
Okay. All right. So you're able to pick and choose what you are revealing, even in the throes of deep passion, occasionally, one might say. But you do manage to...
with Vampire Lady?
Not with her.
Oh,
you can assume that anybody in her establishment
I
is probably
see. Would be relayed that.
Relay it to her.
Got it.
What's going on? So yeah, the mistress of the cold cobra definitely the madame finds out about enough information to keep her satiated, but not enough to reveal anything too detrimental to the expedition. All right. With that, in the interim, it appears that Commander Helwig has done a good reformation of the Knights Panther Company with the new recruits and some more recruits that he's been pulling from Lashik itself. Easily 2/3 of the Knights Panther are local recruits at this point, not the men that traveled here from across the world. In addition to that, it appears that Nazaro had some good luck with how things turned out with the Sultan, and he has managed to ply some officials in the Sultan's court, and he has requisitioned 2 companies of city guard at his disposal. They're kind of like sword and board guardsmen, and they are now part of the expedition. Right. In addition to that, because of your expedient results with the investigation that the Sultan had given you, he granted you all a armored caravan for you to attempt to make your way across the Great Desert. It is a very generous offer, to say the least, but you performed a very generous task. In addition to that, he's also supplying you with a full baggage train and supplies to last you a decent amount of time for the expedition, at least, on behest of Sultan's decree. Currently, the expedition, you find yourselves at the estate. Well, actually, you would all be gathering your things. All of you begin to gather up because you're to leave this very day. Everything's hustle and bustle. Everything's getting moved together, and it's almost midday at this point. You still haven't gotten everything where it should be. Magister Weiss just looks pissed off the whole time. Commander Hellwig has been ready to roll for a little while. It appears that Magister Aldebrand and Nazaro in particular are kind of having trouble gathering all of their resources. But as everything is being gathered, Nazaro is still getting his companies together. A massive cry echoes throughout the city. The literal like shingles, not like shingles, but like tiles on the rooftops begin to like shake and quiver, and some of them begin to fall as a single bellow from many voices shouts out. I don't know if I want to blow your eardrums out. You don't. It just says, "Wow!" And it reverberates from inhuman voices across the city. Immediately, horns are blared. You hear sounds of alarm, bells ringing. As you begin to kind of look out, you see there's clouds of dust encircling the city around all of its walls. As Nazaro kind of looks up, he says, Nog, what can you see, big man? What can you see up there? Nog, you kind of like, take a look. You see green skin orcs.
Oh.
The majority of them riding massive boars. The orcs are mostly naked, with just like loincloths and like talismans and necklaces and bone horns. They appear to be painted with blue paint across most of their bodies. And they are screaming and wailing and making a bit of a ruckus as it looks like they're charging the city walls. It appears that Lashik is under siege by Orc Wa.
Oh my. Well, and I let them know what I see.
Orc what now?
The Wa.
God damn it.
That's what they call themselves?
It's a Wa.
Wait, you don't know what a Wa is?
No, I
Holy
don't.
shit.
I'm not familiar.
Damn it!
I'll let Alan explain that one.
Explain it to you later. Essentially, the Greenskins have a very interesting form of worship to their two gods, Cork and Mork. And whenever they gather in large groups, they can like invigorate themselves with the Wah. That's what they do.
It's like a battle cry, a large gathering of a horde of orcs.
A horde. They have come.
Yeah. A Wah has been.
And these are savage orcs. They don't use the weak metal of the other races. Why use that when good stone and wooden clubs do just fine?
Yeah.
But currently, Lashik is under siege. There is chaos around the streets. People look nervous, even just the regular citizens running around. But we might have a decision to make, as it comes to your knowledge that this Wa is being led by Dwight Skulls, is what they are known as. You've heard of them. They have been sieging and sacking cities all down the coast. You heard of them when you first arrived in Lashik. They were off in Kofar. It appears that they were driven off, or perhaps Kofar is currently trying to put itself back together. The Wa is being led by a massive slab of meat named Doc Head Thumper, who is known to wield what looks like an uprooted tree as a club.
Damn.
We need to fight this guy.
So
I reckon we might be headed toward a fight.
Decisions will be made as the council for the expedition has an emergency meeting. Of course, all of you are kind of brought in as you've had important influence.
We're on the council, we're not masters.
You're not on. Yeah, exactly. You have to
take a seat.
That's what I said.
Yes, take a seat.
Stand aside. You hear Commander Hellwig. Well, if my plan's insane, what do you propose? You hear Magister Aldebrand pipe up as all of you are kind of like at the somewhat table in Hoff's study. Magister Aldebrand, the kind of plump Magister with the constant smile on his face. Well, I suppose I personally would recommend that we take a tact from one of our possible adversaries. For instance, our company over here, as he kind of motions towards the lot of you, said that there are extensive tunnels beneath the city. Perhaps we go beneath and bypass these savage creatures entirely. Of course, not all of the wagons and whatnot would make it through, I'm sure, but it would be expedient and certainly more safe than trying to brave the orcs, as our marshal has suggested.
But how safe would it be to brave the desert without our supplies? 3 weeks in with no supplies or water.
Did you say anything? Do you say that, Wolfram?
Sit down, Wolfram.
I say it.
Nazaro.
I'm not a smart man, okay?
Nazaro looks back at you. And you see the look in his eyes as he stares at you.
Okay. I'll sit down. Shut up.
What Wolfram says is true, indeed. I personally do not want to be losing a lot of men trying to cut through the green ones. Perhaps we find we can find an alternate route. I know that Weiss, you've been putting something together. Weiss says, "Indeed, I have. Despite all of your efforts, I managed to secure a tenuous treaty with some individuals on the docks. We could take ships.
Oh, shit.
We could leave now. Forget the baggage train. We go with our first plan. We sail." It's at this point that Commander Hellwig reinforces. There's no way your ships are going to be able to take all of my men and horses. I doubt you secured enough passage. I say we cut through the green bastards. Straight through the middle. It appears that Mistress Reyna is lost in thought as she's just kind of like looking back and forth. Usually she would speak up at this point, but there is nothing being said. Lord Hoff, who sits at the end of the table. Well, perhaps we hear from some of the young folk. You over there. Do you have opinions in this matter? He kind of motions towards Henry and a lot of you.
From what I know of orcs, prefer a proper fight. Perhaps if we wait them out behind the walls, they will just get bored and leave.
Yes, but then that would be defeating the purpose. We are in a time crunch as it is. Magister Weiss says.
What if you were to take out the leader? Crush the head of the snake and the body died.
And how do you propose we find the leader, Mr. Wolfram?
Did you see the orcs out there? He's like 3 times as tall as the other one. It will be easy to find him. Henry will lead the way.
Does anybody
I will
else have
stay
anything
back
to
here
say?
and shoot from a distance.
Question? Just a general question. How do we have any kind of how long has it been since we've seen them at this point? Has it been a day or two, or is it just like
this has
now,
been
or
just a few hours.
PRs? Do we get a sense of how many there actually are out there?
There's enough that the entire city has been encircled from land.
Okay.
If you guys don't make decisions quickly, something else might happen as well.
How many wizards and apprentices are there total? There's 3.
You have...
So that'd be 4. If you count me, that'd be 4 total. And then apprentices.
You have three magisters, 7 apprentices between the lot of you. Not counting you, Luther.
And the defenses of Lashik and their standing army, like, well, what are we talking about here? Are they...
So, unfortunately, like most cities in Araby, they don't have like an army. They just have their city guard.
Yeah.
And you get the idea that this place was built to withstand some siege.
Yeah.
However, with the sheer numbers outside this wall...
Has the Sultan tried to contact us at all? Has he sent a representative?
He has not yet.
Are we the largest standing military force inside the city?
No, you would not be.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how many knights and...
Are they all the largest force, the largest militarized force is probably the Corsairs.
Corsairs, okay.
They have significant numbers, and they're basically pirates.
Yeah.
And they operate out of Lashik. And then, of course, there are the few... there's tons of mercenaries here. And that's mostly what Lashik relies on. They rely off mercenaries. Decisions.
Wolfram does have a point. If you take out the leader, the orcs will fight amongst themselves for power. As long as we have the walls that are holding, we have the advantage in a fight.
And none of you will see reason. We can avoid this entirely. Set out to sea. Be done with it all. Be on our way, even.
How many knights would we lose? Do you know? Like if we were to take the ships?
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
But what kind of
voice? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
How is that payback for the hospitality the city has given us to lead them to the Greenskin? You guys claim to be knights. You claim to be men of honor.
I claim to be nothing.
Cowardly act.
I claim to be a man of the Empire. These are foreigners. These are less than.
Someone's less than here.
Master Weiss, how many ships did you acquire?
Enough. Enough that our goals will be met. He says stidely towards you, Luther.
I'm sure. Go ahead.
We do not stand against these orcs. What's to stop them from rampaging all the way from here to Sudenberg? Perhaps we are just delaying the inevitable.
I find it hard to believe they'll make the trek through the desert. Get too bored, they will, says Lord Hoff. Decision time. You've heard the arguments.
Mistress, you have no opinion one way or the other?
Mistress Reyna kind of looks up. Luther, let me speak to you after this.
Of course.
And she just kind of like wanders away from the table. Doesn't say anything.
She has a lot on her mind.
As I can see. Decisions. So,
what was Nazaro's stance? What was his stance?
Nazaro, I would prefer not to cut our way through a bunch of the green ones. I also am a little wary of the ship. Let's be honest. Last time, it's kind of we got in our current predicament. Perhaps we birth the tunnels. I don't see. We could probably manage. Plus, some of my men have already been down there. Surely they could guide us.
Is there a way we could use the tunnel to get behind the greenskins and then use the wall as the anvil and us to hammer?
As much as I, have appreciated the hospitality of the city of Corsairs, they are, after all, a city of Corsairs, Wolfram. It is every man for himself. Why shed our blood when they would not do the same for us? And since when are you a man of honor? He just kind of like shuffles his eyes together, looking at you, Wolfram.
I am not, but apparently neither of these knights. So, Luther.
Well, the knights wanted to fight. It's
Okay.
just the wizards. The wizards who did not.
Cowardly wizards.
No.
Well, Luther, you have such influence now. I saw what you created in the courtyard, and you're blazing a brand of stick, and how even your former mistress she flees from your gaze. I have seen how you turn the table.
Wolfram,
why do you not play? Why do you not
Wolfram.
use your influence and convince these
Wolfram,
treacherous sorcerers to help out?
As he says
I'm
that,
just digging my hole, man.
Wolfram, as Luther's calming you down, you see that several individuals at the table have grown large snouts, brown fur.
Yes.
Red beady eyes as they're looking at you, Wolfram, as your eyes are going a little wide as you begin to back up a little bit.
Maybe they can help.
Why don't you give me a cool test, Wolfram? This is your new life.
Alright, hold on.
Oh no.
Good thing I put a whole bunch of points in there, but I still
should have taken an endeavor to cure his insanity.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm right at the cusp on the corruption points too.
89. I'm gonna say
it's too bad I don't have a fortune point.
Yep.
I failed that.
Wolfram, you begin to sweat profusely. And begin to kind of look around, looking a little scared. His hands kind of like drifting towards his like pistols and whatnot.
Wolfram, perhaps you should go outside and breathe in some fresh air.
That's a good idea, Luther. You stay in here with the rat people.
He says that he walks outside and everybody's just kind of like, what the fuck? Your choices are below the city, as Magister Alderbrand suggested. Taking to the sea, as Magister Weiss suggested. Or cleaving through the greenskins, as Commander Hellwig wishes.
Those three options.
Those are your three options.
What about, so vote of our party. Who thinks we should do what? Henry? Got an opinion?
It'd be quite tough getting the baggage train through the orcs inside the walls, as much as I would like to never step foot on a ship for the rest of my life. I believe that might be the best route in order to get the horses and our materials out of the city.
Okay. Wolfham's outside. Lucien?
I say we fight.
And Nog.
Do you have an opinion, Nog?
Oh, no, we'll always fight.
Well,
of course.
to fight.
But only if you guys want to. But I'm ready to go.
Roy the Rumster here. I think that my master here would like a good tussle, if you say so. It's been a while since he's had to knock someone's teeth in. Yeah?
Little while, yeah.
Thank you, Roy. Your opinion is always welcome.
He's sitting on top of Nog's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
For fighting, we need a strategy.
Lords, I believe our small band has decided we would prefer to fight. I'm not sure it's the wisest decision, but perhaps it is the right decision. So that's what we'll choose to do. Perhaps, I know we don't have the overwhelming vote, but we side with, I guess, Commander Helvig and his decision to...
at least one of you wizards has a spine. Good. We gather in the courtyard. We make a full offensive. We push through. Cleave and burn as we go. Leave them in our wake. They'll scatter easy enough.
Have you spoken to the Sultan?
Why would I?
Should we not coordinate our efforts with the city guard?
Nazaro says, at least let me do a little reconnaissance. Let me find a good gate for us to come out of, huh? This is the least you can do. I will stay my hand for a few hours. That's all I'll give you.
I would be happy to, Magisters, I don't know about you, but we would be happy to. Perhaps we could go up onto the walls and show them some flashy displays of Bakshi.
I was going to suggest the same, my friend. Perhaps, as Princess Luther has pointed out, we can easily... Excuse me, pyromancer. I might forget myself sometimes. Perhaps we can easily disperse a fair number. Perhaps even make a distraction as we pull through a different gate.
Well, obviously I will go beyond the walls. Luther, you're going on top of the walls. Wolfram, I suggest you find somewhere high and see if you can pin down where the leader of this war band is.
I assume I'm outside taking my handgun and lunging at shadows. So
yes, Wolfram's outside. As you say, Wolfram, you're like, damn, he's not here.
So we need to break down a wall, or
we just need to figure out where Lucien and Nog are going to go.
Don't you worry, Naga. You will just follow Henry and his band and scatter the orcs from here to there.
Excellent.
Indeed, my friend. We will be doing our best, eh? It'd be my first battle. Hope nothing bad happens to me.
Gonna die.
Oh man, foreshadowing.
My first mention.
As you all begin to gather outside, Magister Weiss looks pissed.
Per usual.
Alderbrand just kind of looks flippant,
happy.
like he doesn't really give a shit about anything in all actuality. Luther, As everyone begins to disperse and begins to regroup and inform everyone in the expedition what's happening, beginning to redeploy troops and figure out how they're going to escape, your mistress gets a hold of you, Luther. She says, "Hi, Luther. This is as good a time as any. I need you to know that," and she looks, she has bags under her eyes. She just doesn't look well. If something were to happen to me, I need you to take my place.
In the expedition, mistress?
In all facets.
Well, thank you, mistress. It is an honor. But what would happen to you?
She hands you a ring. It's like a brass ring. It looks simple, with a strange kind of like glyph carved onto it.
Do I recognize it at all?
You recognize the glyph. It's a mark of the Supreme Patriarch.
Oh, yes.
Of the Colleges of Magic. She says, "Don't let the other magisters see this."
The ring?
Yes. If something were to happen, if something happens to me, place it on your finger. Come to my quarters, and you'll see everything.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
That's true. Of course, mistress. Do you wish me to stay by your side? Are you worried you're in danger?
Can't reveal too much, Luther. I'm too close. Just know that the expedition is more important than you think. There are forces at work here, dark forces, both within and without.
Very well,
be careful,
very well.
Luther. All your friends may not, in fact, be friends.
Thank you, mistress. I'll be vigilant.
As you say that, there is a massive noise, a very loud noise that echoes. It's like, and it sounds like a horn. Something all of you have heard before, not too long ago, long ago.
The Riders of Rohan?
As Wolfram disrespects me in certain ways, emerging from the sea.
Oh no.
Is a gargantuan shape. Emerging from the port. Coming out.
Fucking murderer.
A four-armed massive creature begins to emerge, and it begins to crush ships.
Good thing we didn't take those ships.
Just starts ravaging the port. Magister Weiss is just like, "You fools! We could have fled by now! Now we are stuck here!" As he starts like screaming out in the courtyard.
Again, twice in my life I've seen a merman.
Suddenly, the city of Lashik is in very, very dire straits, with all points of escape looking slim to none.
Maybe the orcs will fight the merworm now.
As the wah bellows outwards, you hear like a chant going out, also from outside the walls, and you hear as it's getting darker and darker at this point, and you hear, "We's the biggest, we's the baddest, we's the biggest." As out beyond the walls, you see a very large contingent of black-robed goblins that are kind of like setting up, and they have a giant horn on like this ramshackle like device that they built, this like wagon instrument, and it appears that they have summoned the Merworm to siege the city as they have joined the Wa. And
they joined forces.
They joined forces.
They can do that.
It's a classic team up.
Damn.
And we will see how it's dealt with that, as it appears that this Wa is brutally cunning, and so you got all the best things. Thank you.
It's not cunningly brutal.
My viewer decisions.
The cornucopia of evil
is brutally cunning. All right.
I hate orcs.
Well, you're gonna have to hate a lot more
that
in the next episode, because that's what we're gonna end tonight. We're getting a little early because we can't get into a big fight right at the end.
This will be like a triple session fight.
Exactly. It's gonna be a long one. Where I gotta work out how it's gonna play out completely. But we do have viewer decision, which will come up in a minute. Let's do favorite moments of the night, though, before we get into anything else. Let's start with Henry.
Endeavors are always fun. I enjoyed the orcs showing up, and then I enjoyed the Merworm showing up. But then when the goblins showed up, my mind took me to Anchorman when all the news teams started showing up.
That Tim Robbins?
Oh Lord!
Now I'm waiting for some dark elves to show up too.
They're coming too. Everybody's coming. Lucien, favorite moments of the night, Lucien?
I'm enjoying Wolfram's visions. I'm enjoying the fact that the Skaven intrigue just keeps going deeper and deeper.
It's going deep. It's going deep.
Real deep. Note. Did Henry get a new sword, or are we still rocking the dark blade?
Henry's rocking a basic sword right now.
Okay, no. Me and Man used another sword.
The blade has been the other blade has been put into the how would you call this? Like the armory, essentially.
Okay, just checking in on that.
Nog, favorite moments of the night, Nog.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard not to appreciate gaining an entire sentient being as part of your trappings. Even as a gift from your gracious GM, a little early, a little ahead of schedule, and surely no ill fate will befall such a enthusiastic and gerund young halfling.
It's true.
As Rory is. Bless him, everyone.
Bless him.
You should eat him now so he doesn't get a horrible fate.
You always could.
I mean, it is always an option. I mean, I would eat him rather than see him befell to an orc.
Exactly. So, if he's dying, you might as well just finish him off.
Exactly.
Mercy.
When Anthony decides,
that's what he
kind of like how your cattle start eating you before you're kind of dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When Anthony decides he's tired of doing the voice, that's when he dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should be dead.
Let's
move on to Luther. Favorite moments of the night, Luther?
Gosh, getting a golem is pretty sweet.
Yeah, golem. It is gonna be cool.
I feel like I'm less vulnerable already. I'm always worried that someone's gonna come up and just like stab the shit out of me. I'm just gonna someone save me. I feel a little better about that. When the Merworm came and started smashing the ships, all I could think about was just like a little boat like rowing out there and just like a little dwarf on there. I'm gonna get you, you bastard! It's Crackbender, my God!
It's Crackbender, he's out there!
He's there! Look at him! Just like, smash,
Ay, con Dios.
Exactly.
How about Wolfram? Favorite moments of the night, Wolfram?
I love the fact that we're doing the Battle of the Five Armies here, except the Five Armies are terrible ones, and we're gonna get, screwed. Yeah, we're gonna win, sure. No, I like Lucien. I truly enjoy the intrigue. I don't know why you're talking about Skaven to me. I don't see any connection, but I do enjoy that. And who doesn't love a good tortured vision? I hope it doesn't get worse.
No, it won't. It won't. Not at all. Not at all.
Since I
If I
said
had
doubts about the Wolfman, you know.
exactly the Wolfman. He said the Wolfman.
You mean like the radio host?
He said Wolfman. That's all he said. If I had a favorite moment, it was I mean I had a couple, let's be honest. I've been working towards this point for a while now. We're finally about to set off on the actual expedition. We'll set off with siege.
Yeah, I know, 3 sessions.
Siege.
Done.
I've been planning the siege for a while. The siege of Lashik. It was always gonna well, it necessarily wasn't always gonna happen. You guys could have left. But you know, it's been foreboding this entire time. There's been orcs on the rise. I mean, come on. So I'm excited to see how it's going to play out. How it's all going to play out. I didn't know if Snosket was going to be alive or not, so he made it. You guys didn't kill him last time. So you know they get greenskins. Whether they get little gobbos with them, little night gobbos. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. Also, you know, I got to unveil, you know, the mighty Rory, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see if he makes it through 2 or 3 sessions. My NPCs in Warhammer infamously don't last long if they're in combat. So, sorry, sorry.
I'm sure there may plenty more halflings.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There'll be more. There'll be more where that comes from. But that will bring us to the viewer decision. So, this will be an interesting one. For various reasons. So I need to know if from the sky or from the sand. That's all I need to know. The sky or the sand, and we will we'll see what plays out next session. There's no telling what it could be, or what could be happening there. So with that, thank you guys very much for watching. Do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Of course, leave us a comment down in the comment section. We love to read them. And of course, vote in the viewer decision. Would love to hear from you, help you affect our game in the long run. And I always look forward to seeing how the polls always play out, which is always usually pretty interesting. Do also make sure to check out the lovable Dan Decker down here without his beard. On all his social media experiences, I'll have him linked in the description of the video. And as usual, thank you guys for watching. I've been Jumbo Thick, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a good day.